Hello, my name is Kyung-Shik Han, Director of Ulsan Green Car Technology Center. This video is produced for the KSP Knowledge Sharing Project of Korean Ministry of Strategy and Finance. The purpose of this KSP project is to help Pakistan government to establish a global value chain for Pakistan SMEs, small and medium-sized enterprises, by sharing Korea's success stories, its knowledge, and experiences. This time, I would like to introduce the operation know-how of Ulsan Green Car Technology Center and Auto Parts Technology Research Center. I'll also introduce operation equipment and parts that are being used in both centers. I hope Korea's operation experience will contribute to the establishment of the Pakistan Green Car Technology Center and development of the Pakistan automobile industry. Now, please allow me to introduce the current status of Ulsan Green Technology Center. Ulsan Green Technology Center consists of 4 sub-centers. The Next Generation Technology Center mainly supports future technology. Safety Test Center operates real car and parts collision testings. Test Evaluation is a center that tests and evaluates internal vibration or noise vibration. Manufacturing Innovation Center is a center that supports prototyping by using 3D printers. Green Car Technology Center costed 62.6 billion won in construction and 55 billion won spent for 75 equipment units establishment. Ulsan Green Car Technology Center has 11 floors total, and the first and second floors are being used as research and development rooms for test evaluation and equipment, while from 3rd to 11th floors are being used by auto industry companies for them to co-work and research together. The equipment built in Next Generation Technology Center is mainly composed of battery chargers and dischargers to verify the performance of electrical and electronic components, noise-free home appliances, thermal shock testers, and waterproof shielding testers. The Safety Center operates crash test equipment such as head-on, side-to-side, and rear-end collisions, as well as slab test equipment that can reproduce crash tests. In addition, it also consists of pedestrian test and dummy room. The Test Evaluation Center supports performance evaluation with road simulators, multi-axis vibration tests, and complex environmental tests that can perform durability tests and environmental tests for all electric vehicles and internal combustion engines. The Manufacturing Innovation Center uses high-speed air or 3D printers that companies can produce to make goods or supports equipment such as 3-dimensional measurement and metal processing discharge processing. As prior analysis equipment, we operate interpreting devices that can analyze dynamics or magma such as PAM stamp. The utilization rate of our equipment is about 76%, and we support 500 cases every year for auto industry companies. Green Car Technology Center cooperates with local auto companies with using its equipment to develop auto technology and parts. By doing this, companies that moved in our center can increase their capabilities, which led them to having supply contracts with global leading companies such as Tesla and GM. Ulsan Green Car Technology Center has a plan to support 40 billion won yearly for local auto companies' R&D purpose, which help those companies to expand R&D capability and maximize equipment utilization. We also try to support domestic and foreign countries' automobile-related tests by using our equipment, which will strengthen R&D capability and generate sustainable revenue from there. Now, shall we look around Ulsan Green Car Technology Center? Battery Performance Lab 1 is a test room that can perform battery characteristics and battery durability tests through charging and discharging while measuring the voltage and current of the battery. This is a place where we can test the battery up to 600 volts. We can perform reliability tests through charging and discharging under environmental conditions, temperature, and humidity change. In addition, we can perform battery cooling tests through the chiller at the same time. Unlike Battery Performance Lab 1, Battery Performance Lab 2 is equipped with devices that can proceed with high-performance battery tests. Lab 1 could test up to 400 volts, but this equipment can test up to 800 volts level high-performance batteries. Also, this equipment allows us to do performance tests on battery pack and battery module overall. This equipment enables us to check the battery performance and durability. This thermal shock test room is a place where we can test the part's durability and performance. By thermal shock like repetition of high and low temperatures to heavy parts such as batteries, electrical equipment, and external parts. We also have dust tester here, so we test by spraying dust on batteries or electronic components to check if they work well in such situation. This is the Electronic Components Environmental Test Laboratory, in which we can conduct electrical part testing, spray tests on batteries, and IP tests. Now, this is Complex Environmental Corrosion Test Lab. We can evaluate the reliability of saltwater parts of batteries, electronic components. The Electric Component Reliability Test Lab has equipment that allow us to assess the electrical reliability of electric components of electric vehicles. This lab also has equipment that allow us to test components' tolerance to any electrical virtual signals. Equipment that allows us to test electrical components to function normally when having combination of high and low temperature vibrations. Setting a virtual environment where a component gets broken down. There is an equipment that enables us to analyze the cause of the failure. Let me explain it in more details by looking at the equipment picture. There is halt chamber in the middle, which can test electric components. This halt chamber will do performance testing of components by implementing vibration and temperature changes, and analyze the electrical signals to evaluate these components. Control program measuring equipment on the left side. DC power supply that can provide power to these components and AC power supply is included here. And then load banks that can load DC. Through e-motor emulator, we can test to pull the load on the parts. There is transient voltage tolerance tester that evaluates these electrical components by creating some virtual electric environmental conditions. So far, we have looked around the Ulsan Green Car Technology Center. Now, let's take a look at Automotive Parts Technology Research Institute and Safety Technology Test Center. Here is Automotive Parts Technology Research Institute, and let's take a look at Vibration Durability Test Lab first. This equipment is vibration tester, and its capacity is 3.8 tons. This test equipment enables us to evaluate vibration tolerance of automotive parts, and it allows high-frequency testing. It is possible to do vibration test up to 3000 Hz. As you can see, we can perform the separation 3-axis vibration durability test on the vertical and horizontal 3-axis. The following equipment is Hybrid Environmental Vibration Durability Tester. It is a device that tests vibration durability of automotive parts. It can provide 10-ton virtual vibration under hybrid environmental conditions. This equipment enables us to test durability of the component in complex environment by setting up vibration tolerance from 5 to 2000 Hz. This equipment is called Combined Environment BSR Chamber, which allows us to test noise from automotive components. As cars are becoming quieter and quieter, the degree of freedom from noise is increasing. So, we test noise from automotive components by using this noise-free device. It also allows us to test the noise from automotive parts at high and low temperatures. This equipment is Hydraulic Durability Tester. It allows us to test fatigue tolerance or enhancement of automotive parts by using hydraulic actuators. It is made up of 2.5, 5, 10-ton, and 25-ton hydraulic pressures. It also allows us to test durability with augmented fatigue of car body components or chassis. This equipment is Full Car Road Simulator. It enables us to test actual car performance in the car suspension module. It is used to assess the suspension module durability performance. This equipment is designed as full car size, which means we can test both front and rear suspension. We can test 2 half cars at the same time or 1 full car condition. This equipment is called a multi-axial simulation table, which is able to reproduce a real car situation. In a combined environmental condition, this equipment allows us to test the durability of automotive modules by reproducing real car situation, so that we can confirm the reliability of the car components. This equipment is called Chassis Dynamo. It is a device that tests the power performance of a car. This equipment allows us to test the fuel efficiency, car mileage, and gradability. In electric vehicles, car mileage and angle of turn are the essential parts that we need to measure in power performance testing. This laboratory is Material Component Analysis Room. The equipment is Component Analyzer. Component Analyzer allows us to analyze the component materials by quantitative and qualitative measure. General SAM equipment mainly focuses on formal and qualitative analysis, but this equipment can even do quantitative analysis. Through this device, we can check how the material is made up of and which elements and how much are included per each element. This equipment is a chamber. It's a combined environmental chamber that fits for full car size. Through this chamber, we can test aging of automotive components in environmental conditions by examining temperature, humidity, and solar energy. The full car size chamber is the main equipment, and most of the other equipments are walk-in size or smaller. It can be measured from -30 to 120 Celsius degrees, and humidity condition can be set up to 95%. This is Vibration Testing Room, in which we can analyze and measure vibration noise. This room is also called as NVH in general. This device allows us to test how much noise is coming out from car components and how much impact they receive from the vibration. As you can see, there's a device called sound visibility, and if we use a microphone array, through this device, we can check with our eyes where the sound is located. When the microphone array is mounted on the cradle pad to measure noise, we can visualize the sound with our eyes and the intensity of the sound. And then, we can see the sound and analyze the measured noise by using a tool. Okay, next one is Safety Test Center. Let's go! This is Crash Test Site. It's a government-funded test site established to support local companies for them to do necessary technology testings. It can also help to develop crash test-related technology, know-how, and test itself. Overall, crash tests are divided into head-on collisions and side collisions. There are also other tests such as pole collisions, rollovers, and truck collisions. In general, head-on and side-on collision tests are done, and for head-on test, not just for Korea, but Europe and US car development tests are also done here. And pole, rollover, and so on. We are conducting a single product test or a finished car test according to the test request. In this test lab, we use dummy, a human body model, to do the damage testing and collision testing. To protect human, we use dummy human body model. First, crash tests are conducted based on average size of American adult men and women. 78 kilogram, 178 centimeter tall are the standard size for the test. The standard tests are front dummy, side dummy, and rear dummy tests. Dummy is constantly being upgraded in terms of its size, functions to be able to do more variety of tests, so the price of dummy is getting higher. Dummy technology is also constantly being developed, so that one day dummy will be identical to real human. The dummy must be evaluated its muscle first before performing the crash test. Dummies are essential equipment for collision tests and impact tests, and it is expensive. So, we need to be very careful in adopting the right dummy for the right test. This laboratory is called sled test equipment for collision testing. The main purpose of sled equipment is to develop a single product for collision test. This test reproduces acceleration that is generated by the collision test. It creates the similar environment to the actual collision, and so that we can assess the safety of automotive parts correctly. It's a test that takes place in a single product, and each product tests put together. Later, we're going to collectively evaluate the collision tests all together and be able to develop a safe car ultimately. There is, however, an important test that cannot be done by collision test, which is standard test. When collision is made, an acceleration pulse is created and an impact occurs. But there is a slight deviation from car to car. This equipment can reproduce such collision situation, also can be standardized. We call it a signature wave, and partial waves are standardized and reproduce as equipment. This device is very effective tool to measure actual single product, as there is a certain standard that can evaluate as good or bad. Single product is usually a shock, and it is tested from 16 kilometers to 70 kilometers velocity. So far, we have looked around the laboratory of Green Car Technology Center and Automotive Parts Technology Research Institute. I hope you all find this video helpful in developing and establishing Pakistan Green Car Technology Center.